You wake up on a morning that feels no different than any other. The room is quiet, the light seeps gently through the curtains. There's no pain, no fall, no sudden alarm bell. But something feels off. You swing your legs over the side of the bed, and for a brief second, just a flicker, you hesitate. Your feet touch the floor, but they don't greet it with the certainty they used to. It's like your legs have forgotten how to hold you, like they're still half asleep. Not weak, not sore, just unsure, like they've been unplugged from your center. You steady yourself. Reach for the glass of water you keep by your bedside. But as your hand rises, you notice a slight tremble. A gentle shake, not from nerves, not from cold, but from something deeper, something quieter. And that's when it arrives. A thought you didn't expect. A whisper, really. What's happening to me? You pause, you think back. You've been doing the things they tell you to do. You eat well, you stay active, you keep your mind sharp, you haven't skipped a beat. So why does your body feel like it's skipping one? That question isn't just yours. It's shared by millions of older adults. A silent concern that creeps in like fog. Not dramatic, not loud. Just there. This moment, this subtle change, is one of the most common, most overlooked turning points in aging. And not because you're doing something wrong, but because something inside you is quietly changing, invisible to the eye, but real all the same. At Golden Years Wellness, we believe aging doesn't mean fading. It doesn't mean weakness or decline. It means learning how to listen. Because your body is always speaking. It just changes its tone. And when it comes to strength, it starts whispering before it ever shouts. What you're feeling isn't all in your head. It isn't your imagination. And no, it isn't your fault. This isn't laziness. This isn't aging gone wrong. It's simply a natural shift with a name most people have never heard. It's called sarcopenia, a word that sounds clinical, distant, but its effects are anything but. Sarcopenia is age-related muscle loss. It doesn't show up overnight. It doesn't knock you down in one swoop. Instead, it erodes, like water on stone. One day you notice the couch feels deeper when you sit. The stairs feel longer. The grocery bags seem heavier. The lid on the jar feels tighter. And the worst part, most people chalk it up to just getting older. But today we invite you to challenge that idea. Because this change inside your body, it's not irreversible. Your strength hasn't left you. It's simply gone quiet, waiting for you to notice, waiting for you to answer back. In this video, we're going to help you understand what's really happening inside your muscles and, more importantly, how you can begin to reverse it, starting with one small but powerful change to the food on your plate. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need to train like an athlete. You just need knowledge, a little intention, and some powerful allies from your kitchen. So if you've ever had a moment like this, where your body felt just a bit unfamiliar, stick with us. This might be the beginning of your comeback, because even after 60, even after 70, even after 80, your muscles are listening. And when you feed them the right way, they remember how to grow strong again. There's something unsettling about change when it happens slowly, when it doesn't knock, when it doesn't hurt, when it simply appears. At first you don't notice it, not really. You stand up from a chair and think, that felt heavier than usual. You carry in the groceries and your arms feel like they've done more than they should. You reach for something on the top shelf and your balance feels just a little off, but you shrug it off. You're still independent, still sharp, still moving. Maybe it's just a bad day. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's age. But what if it's something else? Something real, something with a name. It's called sarcopenia, a word you may have never heard, but a reality you may already be living. Sarcopenia is the gradual loss of muscle mass, strength, and coordination that happens as we get older. And until recently, it was brushed aside as just another part of aging. But now the World Health Organization has officially named it what it truly is, a medical condition, not a natural inevitability. Let's say that again. Not just aging, not your fault, not something you have to accept. Sarcopenia is like a silent thief that lives in your muscles. It doesn't storm in and steal everything overnight. It moves softly, subtly, stealing a little at a time. At age 60, you could already be down a full 1/3 of your total muscle mass. That's 1/3 of your strength, 1/3 of your balance, 1/3 of your freedom, gone without warning. And because it creeps in without pain, most people don't notice it until it's already taken root. They notice the symptoms, not the source. They think they're just slowing down. They believe they're just getting old. But what they're really experiencing is their muscles quietly slipping away. It doesn't matter if you've stayed moderately active. It doesn't matter if you eat 3 meals a day. Sarcopenia doesn't only ask, are you moving? It asks, are you nourishing your muscles the right way? And here's something many doctors now understand. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at using the protein we eat. Even if you're eating enough food, your body may not be turning it into strength. It's like pouring gas into a car with a clogged filter. The fuel is there, but the engine isn't getting what it needs. That's why you might feel like you're doing everything right and still feel a little weaker each day. But here's the good news. Sarcopenia is not a life sentence. Muscle is one of the most adaptable, responsive tissues in the entire human body. It doesn't stop growing just because you've aged. It only needs the right message, the right fuel, the right rhythm, and that's exactly what we're going to give it. In the next section, we'll reveal the most common early signs of sarcopenia. And more importantly, we'll introduce the first powerful food that helps turn back the clock, naturally rebuilding muscle from the inside out. Because your strength isn't gone, it's just waiting for the right signal to rise again. So don't fear the name, don't fear the science. Because knowing what's happening inside your body isn't frightening, it's freeing. Sarcopenia doesn't knock on your door with a loud announcement. It doesn't send a warning letter. There's no dramatic moment, no siren, no injury, no visible wound. But make no mistake, it is happening, and it begins quietly. You find yourself pushing off the arm of the chair to stand, something you never used to think about. You hesitate before stepping up onto a curb. You avoid carrying the laundry basket up the stairs, not because you can't, but because you're not sure if you should. These moments don't seem like much until you realize they're adding up. Day by day, week by week. And then one morning you wonder, when did climbing the stairs become something I dread? When did walking through the grocery store feel like running a race? That's how sarcopenia works. Not with force, but with erosion. A slow, steady breakdown of the very foundation that keeps you upright, balanced, and independent. And here's what many don't realize. By the time you feel noticeably weak, you may have already lost up to 30% of your total muscle mass. Let's pause on that. 1/3 gone. Not because you stopped moving, not because you didn't care, but because your body changed its rules and no one told you. This isn't just about feeling a bit weaker, it's about what that weakness means. It means more falls, more injuries, longer recoveries, and for too many, loss of independence. Think of muscle like your internal scaffolding. It holds everything together, your joints, your bones, your posture, your energy. When it starts to fade, it's like taking bricks out of the walls of your house. The structure might still stand, but it's no longer safe. You begin to compensate in ways you don't even notice. Shifting your weight slightly when you walk, holding the railing a little tighter, skipping the walk around the block because it's just easier to stay in. And slowly your world shrinks. Not because your spirit gave up, but because your body stopped answering the call. Here's the most dangerous part. You can be eating 3 meals a day, staying active, and still be losing muscle. Why? Because as we age, our body becomes more resistant to the signals that tell it to build and preserve muscle. Even the same amount of protein that once kept you strong now needs to work harder, just to maintain the status quo. And if your meals don't contain the right kinds of protein, amino acids, and nutrients to trigger muscle repair, your body quietly slips into breakdown mode, and it stays there. But let's be clear, this is not inevitable. You don't need to accept this quiet decline as your new normal. Because there's another side to this story, one that's rooted in hope, science, and small, powerful choices. Muscle may fade silently, but it can be rebuilt with intention. It's one of the most forgiving tissues in the body. always ready to respond, always willing to grow again when given the right tools. In the next section, we'll uncover exactly what's happening inside your body, what causes this silent erosion, how it disguises itself, and the earliest signs that many people overlook. Because once you recognize the whispers, you'll be able to stop the storm before it starts. And more importantly, you'll discover the first step toward bringing your strength back. Not in the gym, not with pills, but with the food already on your plate. So now you know, that subtle tremble in your hand, that moment of hesitation before standing, that quiet question, am I just getting old? It wasn't weakness, it was a signal, a whisper from your body, asking for help. And here's the most powerful truth of all, you can answer it. You don't need a personal trainer, you don't need a radical diet, you don't need to push through the pain. What you need is much simpler, gentler, smarter. You need to give your body the two things it's been quietly craving, real nourishment and purposeful movement. Let's start with food. Your muscles are not just made in the gym, they're made in your kitchen, in your breakfast bowl, in your dinner plate, in the small daily choices that either whisper strength or invite slow decline. Here's something most people don't realize. Even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your body is still capable of building muscle. But it needs the right kind of fuel, not just calories, but nutrients that speak the language of muscle. You see, as we age, our bodies don't stop needing protein. They actually need more. But not just any protein, complete protein, rich in the amino acids your muscles depend on. Your body also needs support with digestion, with absorbing nutrients efficiently, and with fighting the quiet inflammation that's been sabotaging your muscle repair behind the scenes. The truth is, your strength doesn't begin at the gym. It begins in the grocery aisle, in the quiet choice between white rice and quinoa, between sugary snacks and protein-rich foods, between convenience and intention. Now let's talk about movement. We've been taught to think strength comes from lifting heavy weights or running marathons. But for aging muscles, movement is more about consistency than intensity. It's not about how fast you go, it's about showing up, day after day, even in small ways. Because even 5 minutes of gentle stretching, even a short walk after dinner, even standing up from your chair without using your hands, these are not small acts. They are messages to your muscles. Hey, I still need you. Stay with me. And when your body hears that message, especially paired with the right nutrients, it begins to respond. Not with overnight miracles, but with quiet victories. Standing taller, feeling steadier, moving without fear, and soon that morning when your legs felt uncertain becomes a memory, because you've chosen to answer your body's call. Not with worry, but with wisdom. Not with regret, but with action. In the next section, we'll begin your comeback for real. We'll look at the hidden reasons why muscle slips away and the specific foods that can bring it roaring back. Foods that aren't expensive or exotic, but powerful, everyday allies your muscles have been waiting for. And here's the secret. The most effective treatment for muscle loss doesn't come from a bottle. It comes from what's already in your home. Because strength is not a memory, it's a muscle. And with each bite, each breath, and each small movement, you can bring it back. You've heard the warnings, you've felt the signs, and now you're ready to respond. But not with harsh routines, not with pills or powders, with food. Real, ordinary food, used with extraordinary purpose. Because nature has always whispered answers. We just forgot how to listen. Today, let's meet the first 3 quiet defenders of your strength. They don't shout, they don't shine in advertisements, but inside each bite, they carry the code your muscles are waiting for. 1. Quinoa, the oxygen-fueling muscle builder. At first glance, it looks like nothing special. Tiny grains, somewhere between a seed and a puff. But quinoa is no ordinary food. It's one of the rare plants that offers complete protein, all 9 essential amino acids, right there in every spoonful. Think of amino acids as bricks. Your muscles? They're the house. No bricks, no house. And as we age, our body becomes less efficient at grabbing those bricks and stacking them into strength. That's why quinoa matters. But quinoa doesn't stop at protein. It brings iron, which helps deliver oxygen to every working muscle fiber, like wind in a sail. And it's rich in magnesium, the mineral your muscles need to contract, relax, and recover. Ever had a cramp out of nowhere? A strange twitch in your leg? That's often magnesium calling out for help. Quinoa answers. How to use it. Swap it for white rice. Add it to soups or roasted veggie bowls. Or chill it in a salad with lemon, olive oil, and herbs. Each cup delivers protein, fiber, and nourishment your muscles recognize. Quinoa doesn't just fill you, it fortifies you. 2. Walnuts, the anti-inflammatory shield. They may look wrinkled, dry, and unassuming, but don't let the appearance fool you. Walnuts are warriors, especially when it comes to fighting the invisible fire, inflammation. You see, not all muscle loss is caused by aging. Some of it comes from low-grade, silent inflammation that builds over time, especially in joints, tissues, and yes, even muscles. You might not feel it as pain. You might just feel slower, stiffer, less yourself. Walnuts step in like a soft breeze over glowing embers. Packed with plant-based omega-3s, especially ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. They calm inflammation at its root, and it doesn't stop there. They bring vitamin E and polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that protect your muscle cells from the daily wear and tear of life. And here's a hidden bonus. When your body is stressed, it releases cortisol, a hormone that, when left unchecked, actually breaks down muscle. Walnuts help reduce cortisol levels, gently easing both mind and muscle. How to use them. Just a handful a day is enough. Sprinkle them over yogurt or oatmeal, toss them into a salad, or eat them plain as a thoughtful snack. With each bite, you're not just feeding your body, you're sending it a message. Heal, restore, rebuild. 3. Blueberries, the antioxidant muscle shield. Small, sweet, blue. Blueberries might be the friendliest fruit on your plate, but beneath that bright skin lies a deep reservoir of strength. They're loaded with anthocyanins, pigments that act like armor against oxidative stress, one of the silent destroyers of muscle recovery. When you move, even gently, your body creates tiny tears in muscle fibers. That's normal. That's how muscles grow. But without protection, those tears become damage instead of strength. Blueberries step in like a soft salve. They help your body repair what movement creates, quickly, cleanly, quietly. They're also a natural source of vitamin C, which supports collagen production, the connective tissue that keeps your muscles and tendons working as one. And they deliver potassium, a mineral that keeps muscle contractions smooth and steady. How to use them. Have a cup daily, fresh or frozen. Add them to oatmeal smoothies or yogurt, or enjoy them by the handful. With every bite, you're doing more than enjoying a sweet fruit. You're giving your muscles what they need to come alive again. In the next section, we'll meet a tiny powerhouse that supports absorption, inflammation control, and gut health all at once. You may have seen it before and overlooked it, but your muscles won't. Let's talk about flax seeds. The sun dips low. Dinner is done. The house grows quiet. And your body, just like the world around you, begins to slow down. But here's what most people don't know. While you sleep, your muscles are still listening. Every night, your body enters a natural fasting state. No fuel, no calories, only time passing. And during those hours of stillness, your body turns inward, breaking down what's not being rebuilt, borrowing from your muscle tissue to get through the night. It's quiet, it's invisible, but over time, it adds up. That's why what you eat before bed matters more than most people realize. Because sleep isn't just rest, it's repair, but only if you give your body the tools to do the work. Cottage cheese, the gentle nighttime builder. It might not be the trendiest snack, but when it comes to overnight muscle protection, cottage cheese is a quiet champion. Inside this humble bowl lies a protein called casein, a slow-digesting powerhouse that feeds your muscles hour by hour, all through the night. Unlike whey or quick proteins that rush in and fade fast, casein releases amino acids gradually, like a gentle drip, keeping your muscles nourished even while you dream. It's like leaving a light on in the repair shop, so your muscles can rebuild while the rest of you sleeps. But that's not all. Cottage cheese is rich in vitamin B12, a nutrient critical for nerve communication. So your brain and muscles stay in sync, your steps stay sure, your reactions stay sharp. And here's something many seniors don't realize. Low B12 is incredibly common after 60, causing dizziness, weakness, even memory fog. Cottage cheese doesn't just feed your muscles. It connects them to who you are, how to use it. Enjoy a small bowl before bed, 3 to 4 nights a week. Choose low sodium, no added sugar varieties. Top it with blueberries for antioxidants, a sprinkle of flax for digestion, or crushed walnuts for an anti-inflammatory kick. This isn't dessert, it's a signal that says, tonight we rebuild. Greek yogurt, the muscle multi-tool. Now let's talk about Greek yogurt, a rich, creamy, powerful partner in your muscle recovery. Not just a snack, but a system of support. First, the protein. Like cottage cheese, Greek yogurt is packed with casein, providing slow, steady muscle fuel throughout the day or night. But here's where it shines even brighter. It's loaded with probiotics, friendly bacteria that help your digestive system absorb the nutrients you've worked so hard to eat. Because it's not just what you eat, it's what your body can use. As we age, digestion slows, the gut weakens. Even the healthiest foods can pass through unused if the system isn't supported. Greek yogurt gently strengthens the gut, making every bite of salmon, every grain of quinoa, work harder and go farther. It's also rich in calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin D, nutrients that strengthen bones and muscles side by side, like beams in the same house. How to use it. Choose plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Enjoy it as a light evening meal or midday snack. Top it with flaxseed, berries, or chopped nuts for a triple boost. Each spoonful sends 2 messages, one to your muscles, stay strong, one to your gut, keep absorbing. In the stillness of night, your body doesn't sleep on strength. It quietly repairs what the day has worn down, if you let it. So tonight, don't just go to bed. Go to bed prepared. In the next section, we'll travel further, from land to sea, to meet one of the most important allies your muscles will ever know, fatty fish. Let's dive in. Now that you've met the quiet defenders of your strength, the foods that nourish, protect, and rebuild, the next question is simple. How do I bring it all together? Because knowing what to eat is one thing, but creating rhythm, real, doable, day-to-day rhythm, is where the magic lives. Think of your day like a song. Each meal is a note, each snack a beat, and together they compose a melody your muscles understand. I'm still here. I still care. Let's rebuild. Let's walk through one simple day, a gentle, nourishing plan that doesn't require perfection, just presence. Morning, rise with repair. Start your day with a meal that sets the tone, strong, balanced, supportive. Plain Greek yogurt becomes your foundation, creamy, rich in casein protein, and full of probiotics to support your gut. Top it with a handful of blueberries for antioxidant protection and a tablespoon of ground flaxseed to calm inflammation and boost nutrient absorption. In one bowl, you're feeding your muscles, your gut, and your future. Pair it with a warm mug of herbal tea or water with lemon. Slow, steady, intentional. Midday, fuel the fire. Lunch is your opportunity to energize without overwhelming. Build a grain bowl. Start with a bed of fluffy quinoa, rich in complete protein and muscle-supporting minerals. Add grilled chicken or lentils for lean protein. Toss in leafy greens for magnesium and fiber. Top with a few crushed walnuts for omega-3s and antioxidant protection. Dress it lightly with olive oil and lemon juice. Nothing fancy, just fuel designed for function. Every bite is a vote for mobility, energy, and independence. Afternoon, the muscle maintenance window. This is the time of day when energy dips and cravings rise. But instead of reaching for empty snacks, choose intention. Try a boiled egg, a small, complete source of protein and healthy fats. Add a small handful of walnuts to keep cortisol in check and inflammation at bay. It's not a big meal, it's a moment of maintenance, a reminder to your muscles that you haven't forgotten them. Evening, replenish, and restore. Dinner isn't about heaviness, it's about healing. Choose baked salmon or sardines, fatty fish rich in EPA and DHA omega-3s that help aging muscles respond better to protein. Serve with steamed vegetables for micronutrients. Add a side of brown rice or more quinoa for complex carbs that gently refuel. This meal works in harmony with your body's natural evening repair cycle. It doesn't overwhelm, it restores. Before bed, the night shift crew. Before you rest, offer your body one last quiet gift, a small bowl of cottage cheese, the slow-releasing protein your muscles crave through the night. Top it with a few blueberries or crushed walnuts for extra benefit and flavor. This isn't dessert, it's a muscle ritual, the kind that lets you fall asleep knowing your body is still working for you, even as you sleep. You don't have to follow this plan to the letter. You don't need to count grams or obsess over portions. What matters most is consistency, the quiet rhythm of choosing foods that work for you, not against you, because strength isn't built in big moments. It's built in quiet habits. And with every bowl of yogurt, every bite of quinoa, every handful of walnuts, you're sending your body the same message. I still believe in you. Let's keep going. Let's return for a moment to where this journey began. That quiet morning, the stillness in the air, the strange feeling in your legs. Not pain, not weakness exactly, but something you couldn't quite name. The way your hand trembled slightly as you reached for your water. The soft question that rose in your chest. What's happening to me? Now you know. It wasn't aging gone wrong. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't the end. It was a message. A quiet request from your body whispering, I need you. I'm still here. Help me rebuild. And you listened. You've learned that strength isn't something you lose overnight. It fades slowly, silently, while life keeps moving. But here's the miracle. It can come back. Because muscle is not just tissue. It's memory. It's resilience. It's possibility. And no matter your age, 60, 70, 80, even 90, your body can still hear your choices. It still responds. It still grows. Not with punishment, not with extremes, but with consistency, compassion, and care. Every bite of Greek yogurt instead of sugary cereal. Every spoonful of quinoa instead of white rice. Every handful of walnuts instead of chips. Every time you choose to move, even gently. These aren't small things. They're signals. They say, I still believe in my strength. I'm not done yet. And your muscles, they listen. They don't forget. They simply need you to start the conversation again. Not with fear, but with food. Not with guilt, but with grace. Because healing is not loud. It's not dramatic. It's slow, subtle, sacred. And that's what makes it beautiful. At Elder Wisdom and Strength, we believe aging is not a decline. It's a new season. A deeper one, a wiser one. A season where you begin to truly understand what your body has been saying all along, that you are still capable, still resilient, still alive in every way that matters. So if this message found you, if you felt that quiet voice rise again, if you remembered something about your strength that you thought was gone, don't let this be the end. Subscribe, join us. Become part of a growing community of older adults choosing to rebuild, not retreat. In every video, we'll explore science-backed ways to restore your muscle, protect your independence, and rekindle your confidence. Because aging isn't a closing door, it's an invitation to live with intention. Let this be your beginning. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to begin. And if you've already started, if you've already made one small change, then hear this clearly. You're already on your way, and you are not alone. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay strong, stay steady, and never stop listening to the quiet wisdom of your body.